I was thinking more like the.
I guess that works.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome back to all you Regs and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on all of our social medias. Link down below. That is Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. Follow us on Patreon and buy some merch if you feel so inclined. Everybody, how is your week going?
Good.
It was a good week.
Spring break! Spring break!
Finally on break. Not going to Fort Lauderdale. If your girl's going there, you gotta get rid of her immediately. But we're doing good.
Where did that come from?
That's like a
You
thing I
haven't
saw
seen
on
the
TikTok.
Fort Lauderdale memes, bro?
No.
Fort Lauderdale.
Every time I hear about Fort Lauderdale, it's
That's
in
where
girls,
men go
girls,
to lose their
girls.
women.
Anyways, guys, we do have, if you're wondering, we are not going to be talking about Mando this episode. If you missed it, you can find it. Oh, I always forget. I think it's above my head. You can find it right here. It's going to be right here. You can check out our Mando episode on our YouTube channel, as well as everywhere where you can find our other podcast episodes. We're right now, because the two shows are coming out separately, we are saving ourselves and saving you from seeing a half-assed conversation of one show after we completely exhaust our little tiny pea brains talking about one of the other shows.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the Mando specials are going to be coming out on
Thursdays.
Bad Batch is going to be coming out on Fridays.
Yeah.
Tika is going to be Saturday. So buckle in, y'all. You're going to get a lot of nice content coming for the next couple weeks until Bad Batch concludes. But, before we get into our little discussion about the Bad Batch, we do have a little bit of news, which is quite exciting. So, Tommy, did you want to hit us up with for the first news?
Let's hit you with that first one. So, at first I was excited, and then I was a little bit disappointed. We have the announcement that the new version of Mando Mondays, Obi-Wan Wednesdays, Bring Home the Bounty, Bring Home the Galaxy, is going to be called Mando Mania.
Tommy, can you tell us where that's happening?
So Mando Mania is going to be happening on StarWars.com is where you're going to get the reveals. But what they advertised on StarWars.com is what's got me kind of bummed. They really only said that products were going to be revealed for Target releases, which leads me to believe that all of these releases are going to be Target exclusives.
Which is way better than a Walmart exclusive.
True,
but
it's still bad.
Let's not be ungrateful.
Let's not mince words.
Let's not be ungrateful here, because Target, at least our Target, is very good when it comes to street dating things, and their pre-orders
stocking.
are okay. So it's better than Walmart.
Yeah,
better than Walmart.
Walmart is awful.
I will say that because all the Walmarts in our area are pretty bad at stocking, and Walmart's website is a lot less reliable than Target's website.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's not look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Let's be thankful that at least it's Target.
Sad that we have to say that at all, though.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this difficult. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really kind of bummed that it's exclusive stuff. Hopefully a lot of it is just kind of stuff that I'm either going to want to pass up, like Grogu diapers.
Repacks, repaints for anything that's
the
figure
billionth
related.
Grogu anything.
I'm worried, though, that they're going to launch like a wave of Clone Wars 20th figures again to be Target exclusive. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But that's not Mando related. We're fine.
Yeah,
We're fine.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm honestly, I don't have much else to say on it.
The other thing that we had written down as well was that it was announced earlier this week that Return of the Jedi will be coming back to select theaters on April 28th is what we have written down. Now, the advertisement that we had saw was for Dolby theaters, but... Dolby, sorry. It's going to probably be for everywhere else. Where we live, we have a Cinemark, so it usually gets around to everything. I'm excited and I want to see this.
We're not going to get it at Cinemark.
Wait, really?
Dolby is Dolby Audio, and that is
Never mind.
That's paired with IMAX.
Never mind.
So we'll have to take another trip to Pittsburgh.
we have to go to Pittsburgh again?
Probably.
And we're going to take the van.
The van. Oh, we can take the Jeep this time. We can take the Jeep.
Ooh, that's true.
The Guzzler, bro?
The Guzzler. For those that haven't seen any of these in theaters already, I've seen A New Hope played with a live orchestra on a big screen. I've seen Empire Strikes Back in theaters, and Return of the Jedi is my favorite of the OTs. Yes. So I'm like, I'm really excited for this. This is gonna be a do not pass up. And also, we have a vlog on the channel already of us all traveling 2 hours to go see Rogue One in a IMAX theater. So if you want to see that little adventure, make sure that you check out that video. But no, I'm excited. I really hope that it comes to our theater. I really do. But because it's specifically Dolby Audio, it's probably gonna be the AMCs are gonna be the ones that get it, which is unfortunate. But at least they're doing re-releases, and that gives me a lot of hope for maybe they'll do a re-release of Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh.
That's an automatic buy.
Yes, I've seen Phantom Menace when they did that re-release, like right before Disney bought Star Wars.
2013.
The 3D version.
release. We have what? No, we have the Force Awakens specific 3D glasses, like those.
They didn't have
ones.
special ones for that.
Yeah, I was
movie.
gonna say I think maybe they had them, but no.
We have the poster for the movie though.
Yes, but so I've seen that. I've seen 4 and 5. Where I'm gonna see 6. I've seen Rogue One and I've seen all the sequels. All I need to really see is episode 2 and episode 3 in theaters, and I doubt we're ever gonna get an episode 2 re-release.
That'd be fascinating if they ever did that kind of a release.
I would go.
Maybe 25th anniversary. Maybe.
Maybe.
I would. Movies are like genuinely just far better on a big screen with a like really nice sound system. That's one thing I really hope I can do when I'm older and I have my own place. I want to like do like a really nice home theater and have like a really nice big screen and like surround sound, because it makes the movie going it's an experience. It's awesome.
I agree. I feel like people are more leaning toward that because I mean, personally for me, when I'm seeing a movie day one now, it's almost like a scary thought to even go, because you might just have garbage people. Like, we went to go see the new Ant-Man Quantumania, and we had we'll call them podcasters, because they were just talking and commentating the entire movie.
But not like at a hush, like really loud.
Really loud, bro. I was just like sitting there, just like so agitated. Like even when we went to go see the new Spider-Man, people were like talking like during certain bits, or like other times we've been seeing movies, people are just on their cell phones.
I don't get why people go on their phones during movies. Spider-Man, I got why people would be talking, because there was so much excitement around the movie. The hype was like super high, so of course people are gonna be like, oh my gosh this, oh my gosh that. But no, it was
it's just unbearable now, in my opinion, sometimes to even like go. I would rather have a home like movie system at my house and completely avoid everything, and then just watch it in the comfort of my own home at this point.
Over the weekend I went down to Jacksonville, Florida, and I visited my girlfriend at university for her birthday. But one of the things that we did is that we went to a movie theater, and she got to see Quantumania, and I watched it again. Something that was really crazy about this theater is they had electric recliners.
That's pretty cool.
That were the seats, and there were pairs of 2, and you can move the armrest, so it reclined basically into a bed. And I was like, this is it's cool because you can like, I can relax, but I don't want to think about what other teenagers have done on those seats. The movie wasn't any better a second time. The movie isn't bad. It's so shitty, it's funny. And this is the best way to put it. It's like, it's so bad, it's hilarious. And Ant-Man's daughter, Cassie, is a terrible actor. So it was not fun to watch her. And I'm pretty sure... Do you care if I spoil some of it for you?
I mean, I don't know if the viewers will care or not. You know?
Well,
it's Ant-Man.
Well, there's a character...
Skip ahead 60 seconds.
There's a character that's names rhymes with Kodak. And... he's done very poorly. So
I did hear about him.
Yeah,
already.
so but
Avenge the Fallen.
At least it's funny. So go watch it. Maybe. Watch it for Kang. Kang is awesome.
Kang is literally the best
Kang
and the only
the
good thing in the
Conqueror.
movie.
I'm excited for him to be the big bad of everything to come. What are we talking about?
We were talking about Star Wars.
Talking about
We're
Star
getting
Wars.
into
This isn't a Marvel
Bad
podcast.
Batch!
Also, before we get into Bad Batch, one quick thing. If you see these hoodies and you like them, because lots of people on TikTok keep commenting about them, they were a collaboration that Columbia did with Star Wars, and unfortunately they are sold out. So if you want to find them, go on Mercari or eBay and look up Columbia Clone Wars
and
collaboration.
Pay $800.
Yep. Yeah, but that's if you really want it. I noticed a lot of people commenting about, especially your white one. People are like, "Where can I get that? Where can I get that?" So if you want it, go there. But it's Bad Batch time, y'all. I only watched it once, so my memory is probably going to be like a little bit slow on it.
Twice.
But
I watched it once as well.
I was creaming. I gotta say, they gave me everything I wanted way sooner than I thought they were going to give it to us. Mount Tannis, I saw that.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
Okay,
Sorry,
I gotta
I'm
say,
trying to find the episodes.
I was telling my one buddy this morning, because I saw him at the gym. Shout out Matty B. I was telling him this morning, because he hasn't seen it yet. I said, there was stuff in this episode that I wasn't expecting to see until the last 2 episodes.
I know.
No,
Yep.
I agree.
And we just dove right in. So when D. Bradley Baker did that interview and he said that this last leg of the season was going to be a lot more intense and, a lot more tragic than the rest of the season, I now am taking him much more seriously than I was before, because now we are at a point where the Bad Batch are really going to be much more directly involved with the Empire, and the Empire is going to be much more heavy-handed towards them than they were before.
Yeah, see, what... I
What?
completely forgot my point. I was
No
mid-point, and so go.
See?
Someone else go, bro.
Scratch.
Someone else go. The hamster on the wheel died.
I loved the fact that lots of this was, spoilers, Zillow Beast. Lots of this was inspired by the Alien movies. Lots and lots of
Yes.
it. With the overhead, the drool, and like the creature running around. I got overtly excited at the beginning, falsely, when I saw like this abandoned
Me
ship,
too.
and I heard
Me too.
and I heard the scream. I thought they were pulling a Death Troopers.
I thought it was
that
for a
too.
second.
Because in the books, the way that the virus mutates is it's a pack learning type thing. So by a herd, they all learn together. So if one thing figures it out, they all scream, and by screaming, they kind of update and they refresh and they become smarter. So I heard that and I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing this. And then I was a little bit disappointed, but it's still really cool. The fact that it was I never thought that we were going to see a Zillow Beast again. Wasn't there like rumors or something about the Zillow Beast being back?
No.
So there were rumors about it, but it was more so commentary about people saying that the tall neck horizon creature from the treasure hunting episode should have been a Zillow Beast. Is what people were saying. But then it's like, that thing is literally unkillable. So what are you like? How would the Bad Batch defeat a Zillow Beast in one episode?
Exactly.
That's kind of how I saw that.
I feel like, something I at least gotta mention is like the thumbnails that they do for the episodes sometimes concern me, because when I turned it on and I saw the commando trooper, I was like, bro, you just like totally gave away like maybe what would have been in it. But
Well, if you watch on, I actually got it spoiled for me, because if you go on the home screen of Disney Plus,
Yeah.
I just scroll till I get to the show I want to watch.
Yeah.
And the Bad Batch one was a picture of the friggin' Zillow Beast.
no,
That's what they did. It's a picture of the friggin' it might
don't
still be
scroll
on
to
Disney
it.
Plus.
When
But
Mando,
yeah, dude, I was like, what the hell,
No
guys?
way.
Like, come on, like that's awful.
What I've been doing is because
Wow.
I don't rewatch them. I watch them once, so like my place stays in the thing. So I go down to the Star Wars bracket and then I click on Bad Batch. I have the next episode at the top, so I'm ready to go and I don't have to see the thumbnails, because last time I did that, I immediately saw Wookiees and I was like, oh, it's gonna be the Gunji episode. So
Yeah,
it's just
dude,
kinda-
it's like they really should be a little smarter about those ones on, because that's like I know there are tons of people that do what I do, because it's the quickest way to get to the show, and it's just dumb.
I
Like,
think
it's just,
I think it's the exact opposite. I think this was I think the viewing ratio for Bad Batch is probably down, and they're like, what's the one thing that Clone Wars people really remember? What's gonna get them hooked? A thumbnail of a commando and a picture of the Zillow Beast and the same thing.
Yeah.
People that aren't watching this show that have fallen off Bad Batch and they're Clone Wars fans, that's something that's gonna reel them back in. They're gonna be the Zillow Beast or Commandos. They're gonna want that.
well, it's kind of funny you say that, because a lot of people that I have talked to, like I have a group of friends I play D&D with on Fridays, and a lot of them have been seeing online that the Bad Batch is picking up, so now they're hurrying and binging the whole season
Yup.
to get to where we are now. And actually, I'm hearing, I know Jackson had theorized this a few weeks ago on the show, that they're actually enjoying the show, watching
Yes.
it as a binge more than if they would have watched the episodes week to week.
Yeah, that's
even
what I'm
with
seeing.
some of the episodes that are a little bit slower.
Which is good for
this
us.
episode of Bad Batch is really the Rebels treatment, where it was each episode is kind of like a side quest, and then at the very end of the season, there's major plot.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what this is. I am still really surprised that we haven't seen Crosshair again since episode 2.
I feel like
Theoretically,
he'll be next.
what I'm hearing in the rumor mill is that the next episode is going to be very Crosshair heavy.
That's what I'm hoping for. That.
And we see that new clone.
I gotta
maybe?
say, I have a ton of theories, a ton of like questions that I want to talk to you guys about.
Sure,
that I haven't had the chance to yet. My first one. So first off, I just want to say that the Zillow Beast episodes aired in 2010,
Yep.
and for them to finally pick up on a plot line that I was just learning to be okay with being dropped. 13 years later, they pick up this plot line again. I think that's fantastic. And I love that those haulers, those big shuttles, have that same technology as those cannons that they use to make it fall asleep.
I remember that.
They pulled up with Anakin's tactics.
They did. I'm really happy that they had that little tidbit in there, and that when Tech explains what the Zillow Beast is, it gives viewers who haven't seen the Clone Wars or maybe haven't seen those episodes in a long time a very quick, brief rundown of what happened in those episodes. You get the whole thing that it attacked Coruscant. You get the whole thing that Palpatine ordered it to be cloned when he was still Chancellor. I think it's really interesting. We know that there are multiple Zillow Beasts. Now, I guess the question is now, what are they doing on Mount Tantus with these cloned Zillow Beasts? What do you guys think?
Trying to make lightsaber and bulletproof stormtrooper armor, probably?
That's what I thought, because that is consistent with what happened in the Clone Wars. Although I've seen some people saying that they would just use them as like a straight up just a weapon.
That's what I feel like as well, and why they're like hurting up people to begin with is because it's not the fact that they want those people to know that they can't penetrate their armor. They just don't want them to know about them in general, just because they want to keep that as like a secret tool of like, oh, this planet's being insubordinate, drop a Zillow Beast on it.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that Omega pointed out that those were cloning projects off of Camino. So then obviously with Topoka City destroyed it and a lot of the cloning operations on Mount Tannis, and then the other cloning facilities that we had seen in season 1 of the Bad Batch where Cad Bane goes to drop off Omega, how many more facilities are there that cloning has been done? And are they still out there and being monitored? Or is it on Mount Tannis specifically now?
And this has really changed my whole view on what's going to happen to the clone troopers, because Tech says, when the Bad Batch is talking about all this, that the Empire's intention was not to end cloning, but to be the ones that were in control of the cloning, to be the sole power in the galaxy that has the ability to clone on a mass scale or on a select scale. I think that's a really good plot twist. For me, it's a lot more interesting than what I was expecting, which was just they wanted to end the clone trooper program and make sure it never happened, because they're still doing that, but now there's also a goal. And to me, there was a lot alluding to this being part of Palpatine's plan for eternal life.
Yes.
That is, to me, what I don't know about you guys, but like that's what I got a lot from it, especially from what Tech was saying.
I was gonna say this is kind of a curveball, at least for me, because I was expecting everything with Tannis to be around Force sensitive cloning, but now it's Zillow Beast cloning. So, how high is the M count of a Zillow Beast? Do you think? You think it's got some Force in it, or because it was not omnipotent, but it was what do people say?
A conscious creature?
Like, yeah, it was conscious. Like when people are like, oh, when did you become conscious?
Because it's like self-aware.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
self-aware. So do you think because it's like that and it's such a big creature, do you think it has a high M count, or do you think they're just cloning it just for armor's sake?
I think they're cloning it for weapon's sake.
Yeah.
But I think that Omega is going to come back into the fold. We already know she is, but I think that Omega is a lot more important than we all realize, because with this new, I think this new guy is being set up. Dr. Hemlock is his name. He's the new big bad of, I think, the new adversary for the Bad Batch.
His name is very familiar. I think it's in something else too.
He's just a total horror movie villain, and I love it so much.
Is his arm robotic, it looks like?
I don't know. I think they're like alluding to that.
It reminds me of Anakin's like covered up robotic hand and Revenge of the Sith.
Did I get
They
it right?
already got
It's
the
Hemlock?
Wikipedia page of him.
Royce Hemlock. He drives a Rolls Royce.
Dang.
Yeah.
What shocked me at the end of the episode was the fact, like what you're saying, they're bringing Omega back into the mix of like, you need to find this unit, because if you get this clone, then Nala Se will work for you. And it was just like,
What is it
Whoa.
about Omega that Nala Se?
Because she likes him.
Maybe
Likes
it's
him
maybe it's
most.
Nala Se's attachment to Omega that's gonna make her do what the Empire wants. So like, oh, we're gonna hurt her if you don't work for us and do what we want you. Now, I did not expect Lama Su to be alive. I thought he got killed on Kamino.
me too.
We all said that before, how he got
Yeah.
like dropped, how it was probably like referred that he was killed because the doors closed and he's with the elite troopers.
Yeah, I
But-
thought for sure he was a goner.
Yeah, so that was surprising to see him back, and how like I guess easy it is now for him just to betray his own kind because there's no Tapoka City. He only cares about living. Actually, there's
There's
still
not
that other
really-
Kamino and check on Coruscant.
There's not really even his kind that we know of other than Nala Se and what's her name? The
Senator Longneck Bimboton.
Yes,
So,
that one.
That's
But
gonna.
yeah.
That's gonna. I'm gonna look this up because that's gonna kill me.
It was also cool that towards the end of the episode, they're like, we need to call not Cody. They need to call Rex and Echo. So I'm like, yes.
Oh, Halle
we're getting the band
Bertoni.
back
Halle
together.
Bertoni, okay.
Yeah.
See what we were talking about before, at least at work, was that like the Bad Batch has cooked. You had to let them build up this resentment
Yes.
the entire season to Sid to the point, because we've been saying like, well, I hope next episode they leave Sid, and I hope now that they leave, but like
I think they
that
are
would-
gonna this time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not.
'Cause-
It was never a plausible thing before, but now it is because she was all like, "Don't even come back if you get a reward. You haven't been doing your jobs lately, and you've been."
Well-
And
Oh,
Hunter's like, what makes you think we want to come back?
exactly?
Here's where I'm at. I think they are going to go back, and I think that
Unfortunately.
this is going to be that Lando situation for Sid. I think she's going to be put in
Yeah.
a position where she hears about the bounty on Omega. They've been bickering, so I think that she's going to be like, "Screw these guys! I'm trying to get paid," and then she's going to end up getting screwed over, or everyone else around Sid is going to be reporting that they saw Omega and Omega's with her, and she's been being built up this season by all these other people.
Yeah, like the dude in the pod racing
Yeah,
episode.
to be like, oh, you better watch out for her. She's not trustworthy. So maybe they get in a situation where the Bad Batch thinks that Sid is the one that
Because I ain't the one.
called the Empire on them, and and then ends up being Sid that saves them. And maybe this is a self-sacrifice. Maybe
Oh,
this is
Sid dies? That would be awesome.
best case scenario.
I want to see that lizard
I
get cooked.
wish, but I don't
Passes
think
away.
it
I
would.
want to see that lizard get cooked.
Cook her into
Oh
a
my
runner
lord! A snapping turtle.
But what do you guys think of that? I think that's a pretty
I
plausible.
would love to see Sid die.
But I do think
would
it's still
cheer.
going to end with
Yes.
Omega getting taken, and the Bad Batch are going to have to save her.
When's Fee coming into this too?
Please.
Well, no, I think Fee is going to be either going to help them, like Sid's going to call her to help them get away, and Omega somehow gets split up and
And
taken.
then Fee's gonna be like, check out my boss. And it's like, oh, Mando. And everybody gonna, oh.
And then honestly, though, I think that by the end of it, they're going to call Rex and Echo, and they're going to be with a bunch of other clone troopers to help them invade Mount Tantus to save Omega.
That would be such a cool ending.
And then
And
Cody-
everyone dies.
Cody, Echo, Crosshair, everyone dies. Everybody dies.
Rogue One, everybody dies, and this is the end of the Bad Batch.
It would also be sick to see Captain Hauser with his guys that deserted, with Rex's crew.
They
by
did
now.
just re-release his figure.
Yeah, I think that would be a sick inclusion to Rex's crew. That way we have some numbers. And it's not just. I know it's not just Rex and Echo. Rex has been picking up clones all over the galaxy. We know Gregor's with them already.
and
Is-
Wolf eventually.
Is Ahsoka back in the fray yet?
Ahsoka is
I don't
farming
think she
at
would
this
be,
point.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing though that is super cool is that now we have a confirmation that that is indeed Scorch, who
Yes.
is in the Bad Batch. He was not named in the season 1 episode that he appeared in, and so a lot of people were thinking maybe it's just like a different clone with the same paint. I always thought it was Scorch. I feel like
I
that
always
paint
took
is
it.
far too specific, and even though it's just the backpack that's different,
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty obvious. So the fact that in the credits of this episode they named that D. Bradley Baker did in fact voice Scorch, to me that's a super cool callback.
Here's a little theory. If we think that we're going to get this kind of thing with all the clones going and invading Mount Tannis at the end of the season, do you think that there's a possibility of Darth Vader coming in to cut off that little uprising? Because we do have that Darth Vader model that was used at the end of Clone Wars. I don't think they're just going to sit on that forever and not use it.
Darth Vader's going to show up in the Bad
fair.
Batch, but if he does, I think it's going to be... I think Rex cannot be involved. I feel like Darth Vader should not know that Rex is alive. Because if he did, I feel like there would be more to that story. Or maybe they'll explore that in this show. Who
That would
knows?
be
Because
cool.
doesn't Rex learn that Vader is Anakin through Ahsoka in Rebels?
Yeah.
That's what I had thought.
But he knows about Vader.
Yeah, but he knows about Vader, but not that it's
Vader
Anakin.
doesn't have to reveal to him that he's Anakin.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
I don't really
if
like
Vader
that
shows
idea
up,
of
I feel
Vader.
like he would just have to encounter the Bad Batch. I feel like Rex would be off somewhere, you know? I don't know.
I would love to. I want to see. I hate to say it because I feel like I never would have said this before. I want to see more Darth Vader. More than anything, after Kenobi and seeing how cool he really is and how, like, he's not just like, I'm a big lumbering tall guy. I carry a red saber and I fight like this.
I would be happy if there's no Jedi in this show at all.
Well, we've already got Gunji, so that already ruined it.
Minus Gunji.
And
dude.
Kanan and Ponda Blaba at the beginning.
if Vader showed
But
up,
it isn't like
I
a
wouldn't...
Force-focused show.
It doesn't
yeah.
have to be a Force-focused show. Just Darth Vader will be there.
No.
I feel like if Vader showed up, it would be an interaction between him and Palpatine. Or maybe the Bad Batch get involved with the path that we see that's introduced in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would be cool.
They start helping Jedi escape, and maybe they get involved with Vader hunting down... Because in the comic books... in the Dark Horse comic books that are not canon anymore, there's a whole thing called Jedi Purge, where it was just Darth Vader being sent by Palpatine on missions, on leads with the 501st to hunt down and absolutely viciously slaughter Jedi. I will definitely, if I find the copy of it that I have of one of them, I'll bring it to you, because it is an amazing read. It's a quick read, and it's very, very sad, and Vader is absolutely incredibly destructive.
Oh, so something that I mentioned before we were starting shooting as well, going back to Scorch, is that obviously Tanis is like the breeding ground for the TK troopers and a lot of their special projects,
Right.
and it's really headed by clone commanders. What if Scorch is the only member of that team that turns and Boss 7, the Fixer don't? And
I
they're
like
just
that theory.
elsewhere. Or
I
maybe
like
they're
that.
even dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't like to think that they are, but what do you guys think to that?
I mean, I really like that theory. I think that I think it would be cool. However, I think that maybe there's going to be because we know that Dr. Hemlock, as far as we know, Scorch is going to be leading the operation to find and retrieve Omega for him. So maybe Scorch brings in the rest of Delta Squad to do that. You know, and then he also calls in Crosshair, because if they're going to have some Imperial intel on the Bad Batch, they're going to have intel on past experiences. What'd you just do?
I did a little research.
On Dr. Hemlock?
No, on something else.
So I was like, oh, I wonder if there could possibly be any possibility of my boy in blue coming into the Bad Batch. And it says on the Wikipedia that this episode takes place in 19 BBY, which is the same year that Thrawn joins the Empire.
Ooh, that would
But
be
he would just be a
interesting.
cadet, though.
He would be going through the academy, but he's actively on Coruscant at that time.
I don't think
So-
we'll see Thrawn. I
Not,
think that's
no, I'm not saying for
real
I'm not saying for like
stretch.
this season. I'm saying like if we get following seasons, he's one of the most brilliant minds in the Empire. I don't understand why he wouldn't be active.
We don't
here
see
for it.
Tarkin. We don't see a lot of the other Imperial like masterminds.
We saw
and
Tarkin
whatnot.
in the very
Yeah, we
beginning.
saw
Well, yeah,
Tarkin.
Tarkin in the very beginning, and then the Emperor this, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not looking at Krennic
Yeah.
and focusing on Stardust or stuff like that.
It's only a matter of time, I feel like. We're going to eventually see these characters come into the fold. Now, with the Scorch thing, my hypothesis is it's all of Delta Squad plus Crosshair, and because he's like that link that helps that, and I think that Crosshair might get put in a situation with several other clone commandos. I think this is going to be a big operation because they know the Bad Batch is dangerous and they can hold their own, and they've done it several times. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen, and I think it's all going to go down on Ord Mantell. That's what I believe.
That would be an interesting way for it to go down, I guess.
Yeah, I think that we're going to get led to that, and then our 2-part season finale will be getting Omega back. And several people dying. I think Tech is going to die. I really do, because Tech has
would
had
like
so
to
much
not
character.
think that.
Well, I don't. Obviously, he's my favorite. I don't want him to die. But if you think about how much character development they've spent with him and how much time they spent with him and Omega together this season, I really think that there's a good chance that they've been doing that that Dave has been doing that intentionally to make us all cry when Tech sacrifices himself to save Omega.
I don't think it's that possible.
You don't think?
No.
I think he's more likely to die than Echo is likely to die. I think Cody is gone. I think my list goes Cody, Tech, Echo
Dang.
for list of probability.
I guess
Because
so,
then
just
Echo would
because-
jump
They can't
back
get
into
rid
the
of
Bad
Echo,
Batch
that's easy.
to take Tech's place because they need a smart guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it because he has had the most kind of building out of every. Echo got a little bit of building, so I was like, yeah, it could work. We'll just have to see.
The thing is, Echo is our legacy character in this story.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, we just have to. If in one of these episodes it seems like Tech is being praised a lot, he's in that episode. He said,
I certainly think about this more so like Rebels, where everyone had their own character building, because they're not ending the Bad Batch at
Right.
2
Well,
seasons.
except
There's
for-
no way.
except for that one episode where everybody was like, "Wow, Kanan is such a good guy, and Hera really loves him." Ow.
But that was much like in a bunch of later seasons. I could see that happening then, but at least now I feel like they're still just trying to build up on the characters and the environment. I kind of relate it back to Mando, because now we're at Mando season 3. You don't need to do so much character and world building. You can just tell the story, because at this point people know who these characters are and what they're doing.
so I want to point out something that they added to the lore about the Zillo Beast is the fact that it eats electricity.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't remember.
I don't
that.
remember that from the Clone
No.
Wars, but
Just don't gas
maybe
him.
maybe
Just
the
don't
old
gas
one
him.
was because it was fully adult.
and the planet they were on had a lot of energy too.
Yeah.
Gas planet.
Because yeah, that was crazy. It was the last Zillo Beast, and so how many have they
The
cloned off
last
the
Zillo.
last? Well, they killed all the other ones.
Well, how do we? Well, this one was alive.
And they
Is this one a
cloned it.
clone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cloned the only living one that was left, because in the
It
Clone
wasn't
Wars they're
living.
trying to.
They killed it. Remember in Clone Wars they
No,
killed
they
it.
don't.
What happened to that one doctor, the weird alien doctor
They
from
put
the
it to
Clone Wars
sleep.
episodes? What, in the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
They killed it
They
on
killed
Coruscant.
it.
Oh, really?
They hit it
Never
with a
mind.
toxic gas.
That's what I'm saying. They straight.
No, because remember they tried to gas it on Malastare, and it got pissed, and it came out of
Yeah,
the hole.
because it came out of the hole.
And then they said,
Yeah.
"We shall study it here and kill it here." And then they're like, "Okay." And then they try to gas it. It said, "Okay, I pull up."
I mean, I guess that's fair.
unless
Mhm.
unless they took dead DNA and were able to reproduce it, kind of like how a company is reproducing mammoths right now.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
You
There's
heard
a
about that,
company
Jackson?
that's reproducing, and they're also going to do dodo birds
Yep.
next.
That's
The
kind of funny.
the first trial I think is in 2026 or
It's going to be exciting
2025.
stuff.
Mhm.
We are living in the future, gentlemen.
yeah.
A couple other things I wanted to point out about the episode. I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on. So, what do we think about Dr. Hemlock? Do we like him? Do we whatever?
He's a baller.
He's okay.
To me,
right
I think
now.
he's a great introduction as a new.
I like
villain.
him. I like him more than I liked Rampart.
Same.
Have you guys ever watched somebody play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, okay, Jacob, do you remember how at the ending, like, because most of it's recorded in like weird ways, and he gets really close to the mic like this sometimes when he's speaking, and you can almost hear the feedback. When Hemlock speaks, it reminds me of the ending of Getting Over It, when the dude is like right there talking to the mic, because that's how softly he talks. But I guess that's meant for his character to show that he's supposed to be calm, and then when he gets mad, it's like a serious thing after
He's just
all.
a soft-spoken baddie.
That's just what it immediately just clicked to my brain. I was just like, oh, Getting Over It.
I love his character. I think it's like he's ominous. He's got a lot to him. I feel like we're going to learn a lot more about his character in episodes to come. I think he's here to stay because, again, we needed someone to replace Rampart.
Yeah.
I don't think Rampart's going to come back and be like this triumphant villain again.
I feel like
think
he'll come back in season 3.
I feel like he'll come back as like a cameo. I feel like he's in prison.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
He'll be in prison.
Yeah, because Palpatine used him, and that's all he needed him for. He
Yeah,
didn't
but
care
that's what
about
I mean.
Rampart.
He'll come back in some way, shape, or form later, I feel like.
sweetie Rampart, I'm so sorry I have to do this to you.
My sweet 30 years in the
gulag.
30
My
years.
sweet Babu Rampart.
Emperor Gulagstein.
I also noticed there were no TK troopers on Mount Tantus this time. It was all clone
Oh,
commandos.
yeah,
Now,
it
dude,
was
I'm
all
in love
commanders.
with the.
Did they scrap TKs already?
There's the
No, they probably
Dave Filoni
assigned
heard
them
me say
somewhere
I didn't
else.
like it.
there's the Camino security style paint job.
Yes.
For some of them, it's like I love that design, and I
They
love that
finally
Scorch
have
is there
paint.
too. I know.
I
And
just want a regular commando droid in the black, not droid, sorry, commando clone trooper in the black series.
I like
at
a
this
commando
point.
droid too.
but it's just like, come on, they're all right there, and it's like, it's obviously there's a billion repaints available, but they won't do any of the repaints, but we just have to get used to that.
It's whatever to me. I really don't. At this point, like with the Black Series, I feel like there's so many figures they could make, and then they come out with 2 Amazon exclusive carbonized 2-packs instead.
Carbonized.
Like, do you not we talked about it in our Discord a little bit. Do you not realize how much of a gold mine they're just sitting on? And if you look at like all the clone troopers that have been released from the Black Series, a little more than half of them have been exclusive in some way.
Yeah.
Like, they really don't release clone troopers as just standard releases, which is so dumb. The last one they did was as a standard release was the Archive 501st.
Yep.
If you think about all the other clones that have come out, every single one has been an exclusive.
Whack.
Anyways, that's my little spiel on that. But it's just like you have 3 repaints you could use. Well, they use Scorch technically, but you have 2 more repaints you could use, and one's not even a repaint; it's just a base model for a Clone Commando, and they're just never gonna do it. I'd be so surprised.
I was happy Scorch spoke.
Yes,
because
that
I
was
hate
cool.
how a
What
lot of
did
the
he say?
commandos are like really like ominous and in the back, and this time it's like, oh, he actually has a part besides just standing.
He had a
there.
few lines. He was talking to Dr. Hemlock when he ordered him to.
I was gonna say the only time I remember him is when he was standing there and other commandos were running around him. That's the only time I remembered seeing him in this episode.
Oh,
Yeah, he was telling Dr. Hemlock that they rallied up the citizens and they will be dealt with.
Oh yeah, they're killing him.
Yeah, they're gonna kill.
Oh, there
all
ain't
of
no
them. Or
way
maybe they're
they're
gonna use
not
them
gonna
to
kill 'em.
feed the Zillow beast.
Zillow snacks.
I thought that was crazy how quick the Empire response to that was, and how it was like an immediate cleanup crew. Like, you didn't see it.
It's a Zillow. It's a beast.
When they
It's
said only a
Zillow
few
beast.
people saw that, that's cap, because everyone was like, oh, like at it. They're exterminating all of those people.
And then the second the Empire shows up, they all turn into Stevie Wonder. Like, I ain't seen that.
For me, this episode just launched the Bad Batch in a completely new direction.
Yep.
And again, I never saw any of this coming this early in the season. I thought we were gonna have to wait till the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yep, so I'm happy that hopefully, that the rest of the season is just gonna be nothing but plot.
Yep.
Plop, plop,
I mean, I
plop.
feel like that's exactly what it's going to be. Now we have an episode set up with an unresolved conflict that will draw us to the end. And it isn't just the simple conflict resolution every single episode. That's why I feel like I'm more excited for it. Like, I'm just like, can it be Wednesday already next week?
Something else I wanted to talk about real quick was the fact that it was Kaminoan tech on
Yeah.
those ships that had
Yep.
the Zillow
Well,
beasts.
silly Billy, we were just talking about how they were cloning it. Of course, it's gonna be Kaminoan cloning tech.
I like
Talking
that.
like Big Gay Owl.
Again, it
bro.
made
Shots feeling you.
I guess you could say I'm a munch.
More on lunches on the
Anyways.
podcast.
1313 Munchcast.
We all
Anyways,
show up to the next.
You thought I was
stream with
feeling
giant orange afros.
Dude, we should do like stuffing our butts and like write juicy on it. Oh, come on. You haven't seen that joke already?
no, I haven't.
You seriously haven't? There's a whole video where a dude dresses up like Ice Spice and says like workouts that Ice Spice would do at the gym. He was wearing these gigantic sweatpants that are inflated in the back, and it says juicy like right on the butt.
You can stop talking.
Okay, never mind then, y'all.
Why did you stare long enough to read it?
Anyways, I'm just gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts really quickly here. I think at the end of the day, I'm really happy with everything in this episode. Omega's character was great. Every member of the Bad Batch had at least something to say or some decision to make, which was a nice for a change. I like all the character building, new villains, new story plots. Everything's happening all at once. I give this episode a 10 out of 10.
I liked it a lot.
perfect episode.
Spooky, scary horror.
Horror tropes.
Spooky Zillow Beast. I knew it was a Zillow Beast like right off the bat.
When I
Like,
saw it, I was-
watching it. I was like, that's gotta be it.
When I was watching it, I was like, it reminded me of the Zillow Beast, but I didn't want to jump to that conclusion. It reminded me more of a Xenomorph because it didn't have any eyes.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of like dome face build. And I was like, oh, Xenodog.
Mhm. And then when Tech was like, Hunter, it's the creature that attacked Coruscant, and I was like, oh, it's it. Oh, I was right.
Is the Billows East.
Billows East.
Good episode. I liked it a lot, and I'm very
Yes.
excited for what we get next.
Woo!
But with that, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, you like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you thought about this episode of The Bad Batch, and follow us on all of our social medias linked below. That is Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Make sure that you go and check out the Mando episode if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good one. I like that episode a lot. I like it a lot. Also, if you want to, support us on Patreon. We have 3 tiers, 3 ways to support. Pick your poison. Just if you wanna help us be bigger. If you wanna help us buy a new camera. So
That's what it's going towards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Forever.
Da